Yes, but it comes with the turf. It's their right to come down and complain, and we have no control over people who put out agendas and items in newspapers and parts of newspapers. So we fully expect, because it's election year coming, and because it's election year, they've been trying to the other party, so to speak, been trying to get inroads into the city of Waukon, and so far they have not been able to do it. But this time they're hoping to get their candidates into office.
What do you think about this idea of council districts similar to Chula Vista and San Diego?
I have no problem, because I'd win in the district, make it a lot easier to run in a smaller district. But I can see the problem that you have, where you're only concerned about your district and you take care of your people in your area, and you don't have nothing to do with anybody else's. And so you're always trying to make deals with other council members to work out the best deal for your district. So you say, well, I'll help you out, you help me out. So you have that type of problem I'm really looking forward to. And that's why it's wrong. You represent everybody in the community. And I even represent people who didn't vote for me either. So I represent everybody.
Mayor, that's what you said, and that's what some of your council members said. But some of these comments today, I think the word from the dais up here was incendiary, some of what they were saying.
Well, I don't know if it's incendiary. It's just, they read something and they think it's gospel, and you just have to be careful about what you read. And they had a particular agenda that you're going on. That's why I said, find this one lady who used to be a planning commissioner and run, and I said, you didn't get picked. Well, that's because the candidate who was picked had 24 years experience on planning commission. She only had 12. And thank goodness we picked the right people, and we see all the good things happening by doing it. So we're looking forward to that.
What about some of these things they brought up in the meeting about you saying the Chaldeans pick their children up in a Mercedes and look for freebies? I'm not quoting exactly because I didn't write it down. But
Right. No, we noticed that, and my wife used to be a food worker service manager at Naranja School, and she saw this happening at the time, and she was a little bit concerned that too many of the Chaldean children were coming up, which is a perfect right to do if their parents qualify. But we did notice that some of the Mercedes, and I received complaints to my office about, hey, these people are on food, getting free food from school lunches, and now free breakfasts as well. And they're living in big houses in Rancho San Diego. And how come? And they own stores, liquor stores. How can they qualify? That's because they sometimes maybe not, no fault of their own, they may not be able to testify what their true income is. And that happens a great deal. But the Chaldeans has really been very forward and very exciting group to watch, because they're leaders and they're energetic people as well. And I've mentioned and been interviewed by many people, because we're the second largest Chaldean community. Only Detroit has more people in Chaldean background than we do. They come here because they like us and they like to know that they get a fair shake here in the city of Oklahoma. And even the federal government is sending us 5,000 people a day from Iraq here, because they're under immense pressure to get as many people out of Iraq as they possibly can. And so I understand and I support that. But we have a great deal of Chaldeans that are very excited in regards to the possibility of coming to a new world, creating a new opportunity, and all you gotta do is learn how to speak English right, and they'll be good. They speak better in English than I do. We have very professional people who speak, and engineers. We had an engineer, Chaldean, who's in there, who used to operate missiles, Atlas missiles, and he speaks better English than I do. And he was born in Iraq, for crying out. So it's just irregardless, but those things happen to people, and they see something in the story, they get all excited. But
is it a misunderstanding, Mayor?
it's a misunderstanding because they don't understand. And that paper that I didn't even know about until I heard their name has a habit of perhaps not as fair and open reporting as they do. It's a newsline, and so their intent is to get as many Democrats elected to city council, and we know that. And so it's been, we all know about this paper, but I didn't know the name of it, because I knew it for some different names too as well. But, you know, that's what I said, but it's like, section of it is like chopped up a little bit.
Was that a context?
No, it wasn't a
Comments?
contest. No, they're just comments. I made those comments, but not in that order. It was like, you know, it's like, when you put it all together, there's nothing wrong with it. They perfectly have a right to apply, but they also have a right to go by our laws and everything. That's what they're upset about. But if you live in this community, you have to go by our laws, not as you heard testimony today. Oh, that's our tradition, that's our custom of doing this, playing cards. Well, over here, you play cards, you're only in trouble if you gamble. So if you play cards and you exchange money, that's a form of gambling, and it's against the law, unless it's certified by the city council. You know, 'cause we used to have gambling houses in Cajon way back in the '60s. It's right next to the theater. It used to be the old theater we had, and so we can't have gambling if the people want that. However, I don't think that people are going to go for it. So they have a bigger obstacle to overcome than the current council. But they want to see 5 Chaldeans on this council. So, and then they're sure they can run it like they can run anything else in Detroit. So we have to be careful about that. But give them they're fine. They register to vote. They can vote for whoever they wish. But it's very dangerous to vote by council, by district election, because of that fear of trading places. Like, I'll vote for yours, you vote for mine. So you have to have a strong mayor that says you can't do that stuff here. You know, you're elected for everybody. You have to watch out for everybody, for everybody's interest. So I wish the Escondido well. I don't know if they have troubles getting enough people, but they, you know, we'll have to wait and see. The election coming up. But all this is about election. So we're waiting.
And the timing of it?
Timing about election.
With Arabo coming here and.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, you know, and so, like we heard this testimony, I don't know if you were here at the time, we had a person that was a Chaldean who got himself in trouble because of his restaurant, so-called restaurant, but you walk in the restaurant by name, you walk in, there's nothing in the back room except for the kitchen was a salad bowl. That was it. They had like, I don't know how many people, there's that 20 people? They don't. So we had problems with them before. So they're hardworking and interject, but every once in a while, sometimes they like to run things their way. But it's not going to happen. Not in Oklahoma.